making me some fresh scrambled eggs with a little bit of bacon on top. And we're in France, so of course it's on top of a baguette bread. Merci. It's so damn early, but as I always say, early morning flights get you to where you're going while the sun is still shining. Or if there's a problem or a cancellation, you can have time to get on a new flight and still get to your destination. But still, 4 a.m. Today I'm flying from Florence to Düsseldorf, Germany, and I'm going to talk about the COVID entry rules, and some of them may surprise you when you compare them to the rules here in Italy. I called a taxi. It should be arriving from the Florence center to the airport. It costs 22 euro during the day, but during the off hours, during the early morning or late at night, it's 26 euro plus a couple euros for your baggage. And at the airport, 5 a.m. Grazie. Everybody's traveling again, which is great, but this airport, I've never seen it so crowded so early in the morning. Tourism is back. Got a few different items here to snack on at the airport lounge. Some yogurt, this little roll with mozzarella and tomato. You know we must be in Italy. Look at that. For coming to the airport in Italy, keep in mind you're gonna have to have that green pass, your COVID certificate, your CDC card ready to go. And if you don't have one of those, you're gonna need that negative test or a COVID recovery certificate from the last 6 months. The negative test, remember, from the last 48 hours if it's a rapid test, from the last 72 hours before the time of your arrival if it's a PCR test. Just have those documents ready when you arrive and everything will go smoother. You know what, that big long line this morning, thankfully I did the online check-in. I only have a carry-on bag, so I skipped the massive line, and that was a time saver. This coffee here in the airport lounge in Florence, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. It's good, but not great. Now in Italy, if you want to have a whole wheat croissant or brioche, ask for integrale. You're gonna get one of these. It's that darker bread, better than that white stuff. Integrale. Integrale. Have a little bit of time here at the lounge. I'm answering some of your comments you've been asking in my YouTube video, so drop all the comments you have down below, and I try to get to them in 24 to 48 hours. I promise I try to get to all your comments. Okay, I know I said I'm flying to Düsseldorf today, but I have to go via Paris. I have a 2-hour layover there, and the flight to Charles de Gaulle is boarding right now. I mean, when you're in the lounge, you don't want to get too comfortable because you risk missing your flight. So, top tip, watch the departure board and get ready to fly. Bye. Good thing about Florence, it's such a small airport. You can cross the whole airport in 10 minutes. It's easy. I think there are only 20 gates. See you soon, Florence. Okay, I had to get up early, but it was well worth it. Look at the skies. This is absolutely beautiful. I love traveling. In Paris, local time, 9 o'clock. I have about 2 hours before my flight to Düsseldorf. And see that there? That's the Air France lounge in Terminal 2F. This is the perfect place to pass some time between flights. Check this out, he's making me some fresh scrambled eggs with a little bit of bacon on top. And we're in France, so of course it's on top of a baguette bread. Merci. Now, way too much bacon on top of this. I'm gonna scrape some of that off, believe me. I'm telling you, this is one of the best lounges in all of Europe. There we go, that's healthier. Just got the scrambled eggs on the baguette. And a little cappuccino to wash it down. Before we fly into Germany, it's a great time to talk about what you need, and when we get there, we'll see how it went and what they asked for. There are 2 things you need, basically. You need to be registered on the Locator website, and you need to have a vaccine or some other form of negative COVID test, and we'll get into that before you enter into Germany. Now, in those 2 things, let's look at the requirements. For European citizens, it's easy. To fly into Germany, it's like flying into Italy for European citizens. And that means you need a vaccine, or if you don't have a vaccine, you can have a negative coronavirus test. And if you don't have that, you can have a proof of recovery from coronavirus in the last 6 months. Now that's great, but what if you're coming from outside the EU, from outside the European Union? Well, Germany has implemented unrestricted travel for certain non-EU countries. Those countries are Hong Kong, Indonesia, Macau, New Zealand, South Korea, Taiwan, and it's expected to also do so for China. For all other non-European countries, like the United States, here's what you're going to have to do. In order to enter Germany, you can only do so for urgent reasons, or you have to be vaccinated. So if you're a US citizen, or if you're Canadian, anywhere else from those countries I listed, you have to be vaccinated to enter Germany. That means you can't enter on a negative coronavirus test or recovery from coronavirus like you can in Italy. So within Europe, some variations exist, but these are the rules for Germany based off the Ministry of Interior's website for Germany. I'm going to be putting that link down in the description below so you can see for yourself. Well, now you might be saying, which vaccines are approved for when you're entering Germany? Well, they're similar to the ones for Italy, and they're listed on the Paul Ehrlich Institute website. And those vaccines are the major player vaccines: the Pfizer vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, AstraZeneca, and the Novavax vaccine. Any of you ever heard of that out there, or do you have that vaccine? Drop some comments down below and let me know. Now keep in mind, these rules apply to anybody over the age of 12, so minors over the age of 12, and of course adults. Filling in that digital passenger locator form, or what they're calling the digital registration on entry form for Germany. It's simple, and I'm going to put a link to that website down below. But basically you go there and explain which countries you've been in the last 10 days, or which country you're coming from, and they determine if it's a high-risk country. If it's not, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to fill out a form. And that was the case for me. I put in Italy, I put in Belgium, I put in the United States. I tried that one even though I wasn't there. I put in Canada. Then I played around. I put in countries like Yemen, Sudan. All those countries were safe to travel from. So basically, you're not going to have to fill out that digital passenger locator form, but check that form before you fly. Now, if this video is helping you out, please give it a thumbs up. That helps with all the YouTube analytics. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'm making all sorts of content about traveling, about Italy, about lifestyle, anything like that, so you'll get more of that content. And also hit that alert button so you're notified every time I put out a new video. And also, if you're traveling soon, drop some comments down below to let me know where you're traveling to and if you have any questions. Okay, time to go. Gotta get on that flight to Düsseldorf. Bye-bye, Air France lounge. Au revoir, merci. I'm definitely gonna miss this lounge. First one in. Champagne, please.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Düsseldorf Airport.
Düsseldorf, 12 o'clock. What did I tell you? Early morning flights get you to your destination well before the sun sets. But this isn't quite my final destination. In fact, I gotta go to another country. I have about a 1 hour's drive, so I need to get going. Once we get going down the road, I'm gonna explain all the entry rules for here in Germany, what I had to go through, and also the mask rules and everything you need to know if you're gonna be visiting Germany, or if you're landing in Germany at the start of your European trip. First, I gotta find my rental car. That car, all gold, that is pimp, my friend. I would love an all gold BMW. Yeah, I know, you might be asking yourself, why did I fly to Germany if I'm going to the Netherlands? Well, in that area of the Netherlands, in the southern part, it's called Limburg. There are no airports around there. I need to go to Maastricht, and that's where the bicycle race, the Amstel Gold Race, starts tomorrow. Yeah, named after the beer, and they give out free beer. Anyway, that's where the bike race starts tomorrow, so I need to get there, and Düsseldorf in Germany is the closest place. I just have to guide this boat out of a car parking lot, and that, my friends, when you're renting a car, is the most dangerous area, getting out of the car rental parking lot. For me, that's where the likelihood of an accident is most likely to happen. And success. We're in the Netherlands. It's 2:30. I just crossed the border from Germany into the Netherlands. I was on the Autobahn. There's no speed limit. I was pushing it up to 175 kilometers or so. Stopped here at the gas station, got some refreshments. Okay, I'm gonna push all the way through to Maastricht, and then when I get to my hotel, I'll give you an update on everything you need to know about traveling here. I have to be careful here in the Netherlands. It's no longer the Autobahn. There is a speed limit, 100 kilometers an hour. What is that in miles per hour? About 75, 65 miles per hour? There it is, it's official. I got my accreditation and everything I need for the bike race. Right in that cool building there, that's the city hall here in the center of Maastricht in the Netherlands. And tomorrow the bike race starts here and heads up this hillside outside of town, and they do some laps around there. A pretty tough bike race. But let's talk about the COVID rules for the Netherlands and Germany, where I landed today in Düsseldorf. Basically, when I arrived today in Germany, in Düsseldorf, no one checked my documents. Now, bear in mind, when I did the check-in, the online check-in for Air France, I had to upload my vaccination card before I could check in. So they may have had that there on file, but after I got my bags and before I left security, no one was there checking people's documents when they left the baggage claim area out into the public. So things have really eased up in Germany and here in the Netherlands. Also bear in mind, there's no longer the mask mandate. So everywhere you go in public, you no longer have to wear a mask. The only place you have to wear a mask is in the hospitals or on public transportation, and definitely on the airplanes. But in the airports today in Germany, I think you're supposed to, but a lot of people weren't even wearing a mask in the airport. Contrast that to Italy, where the mask mandate is in place until at least May 1st, maybe June 1st. But here, no more mask, as it was in Belgium where I was last week. So traveling in this area is super easy. Just remember the restrictions. Gotta be vaccinated if you want to arrive in Germany, and check that passenger locator form. If you've been to a high-risk country in the last 10 days, you're gonna need to fill that out, but mostly you're not going to, and you're free to travel here in Europe.